Okay, so anytime you take a break, especially during the FSA, you're going to want to always come back and read the very first part of your prompt so that you remember that purpose that you have for reading, because that's what we're going to focus on today, is reading some of these articles. And you need to have a purpose. You need to know what to focus on, which in this particular case is, are you in favor of keeping the Electoral College, or are you in favor of popular vote for the presidential elections? Now, when you go back and you look at our outline, even though we have our outline sketch there, obviously we can't go on to paragraph 2 until we've read some things so that we can get some evidence for, and then also maybe find some evidence against for our counter claims. So let's go straight to the article. Okay, so this first one, Source 1, what is the Electoral College? By the Office of the Federal Register. The Electoral College is a process, not a place. The Founding Fathers established it in the Constitution as a compromise between election of the President by a vote in Congress and election of the President by a popular vote of qualified citizens. The Electoral College process consists of the selection of the electors, the meeting of the electors, where they vote for President and Vice President, and the counting of the electoral votes by Congress. The Electoral College consists of 538 electors. A majority of 270 electoral votes is required to elect the president. Your state's entitled allotment of electors equals the number of members in its congressional delegation, one for each member in the House of Representatives, plus 2 for your senators. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I don't know about you, but I'm not up on politics or government and all that, so I'm way out of my league here. So as I read, I'm struggling with this text. So I'm going to get my little red pen here. Okay, and try to figure out what in the heck all of this is saying, because I didn't see really anything that supports, yes, we should, keep the Electoral College, or no, we shouldn't. It looks like a bunch of background knowledge, which you would need in your introductory paragraph. So this part here, telling people what it is, that might work in your introductory paragraph as your background knowledge. Let's see. You could say it started off, it looks like the Founding Fathers initially wanted it to be a compromise, a little bit of both. All right, so it talks here about how this Electoral College process consists of the selection of the electors. Now, at this point, I have no clue who or what the electors are. So if you do, you're ahead of the game than me. Let's see. All right, here again is some more data that you could provide for background knowledge, but it's not evidence, saying as to why or why not. So let's go ahead and head down to paragraph 4, is what we're on. Under the 23rd Amendment of the Constitution, the District of Columbia is allocated 3 electors and treated like a state for purposes of the Electoral College. For this reason, in the following discussion, the word state also refers to the District of Columbia. Each candidate running for president in your state has his or her own group of electors. The electors are generally chosen by the candidate's political party, but state laws vary on how the electors are selected and what their responsibilities are. The presidential election is held every 4 years on the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. That's pretty much common knowledge. You help choose your state's electors when you vote for president, because when you vote for your candidate, you are actually voting for your candidate's electors. Okay, again, in these paragraphs, there are some things that I understand. There are some things that are extremely confusing. So, for election purposes only, Washington, D.C. is considered a state, even though it's not a state. Let's see. And each candidate, it looks like, has their own electors, but the candidate isn't the one that chooses them. It's the candidate's political party that chooses the electors. Okay. Most states have a winner-take-all system that awards all electors to winning presidential candidate. However, Maine and Nebraska each have a variation of proportional representation. Not exactly sure what that means. Let me get rid of this ink pen. There we go. Go down a little further here. After the presidential election, your governor prepares. Okay, so this is afterwards. Doesn't really have anything to do with one or the other, in my opinion. So, if you come across something that you don't think you're going to need in your essay, cross it off so you don't waste time going back. I'll tell you what, this entire article gives you some background knowledge, but I really didn't see anything that says, yes, this should be this way, or no, this shouldn't be. So when you go to write your introductory paragraph, I would just skim through that particular article and gather some information that you think might be important for people understanding your paper. We'll stop here, and then when we come back, we'll read the second article.